Hey guys, it's your girl Tisha Rell. Welcome back to my channel, Glow Through Beauty. I'm praying that you're going through your life beautifully with inner healing that brings about an outer beauty. Well, others will want to know how you got your glow. But finding your glow just might take faith and the glory of God. Do you hear me? Today, guys, I just wanted to talk to you guys really quick because God just revealed some things to me while I was sitting here looking out my window. I'm here in Seattle this afternoon. It's about 11 o'clock. And I'm looking at the window. Let me show you really quick. And I'm looking at this beautiful snowfall. Isn't it so peaceful, so uplifting, so enlightening? God was just showing me no matter how much dirt and grime is at the bottom of this snow, but when it covers, it uplifts, it enlightens, it brings peace. Even if you are in the midst of a storm, when the snow starts to fall after the rain, after it gets cold in your life, after things start to freeze up, there's not much coming in, there's not much going out. But when the snow falls subtly, it just covers you with a sense of peace and protection. You know that you're going to come in somewhere. For those of us that do have a sheltered living right now, the peace of God surpasses all understanding, and he is the Prince of Peace. But as I'm looking at this snow, he's just revealing to me in a spiritual realm the way the snow covers the dirt and grime in this world and makes all things beautiful. It brings light to darkness, even though the clouds and even though you can't see the clouds, it's gray. It's gray, it's foggy. You don't really know what's ahead of you, but you know that if you're careful and you use wisdom and you take your time and just be led by the Spirit, just be led with what you should do. We know when it's snowing outside, you need to store up because you don't know when you're going to be able to get out of your home because you be snowed in. But God was just showing me there's also dangers in the snow as well. You got to watch out for black ice. You got to make sure that your brakes don't slip. So you must tread lightly on the snow. There's no need to rush. You must keep a steady pace. You must be consistent. You have to drive with discipline because you can crash. It's so slippery and people lose their lives driving in the snow. And we have done things that are not of God's will. He may not have been pleased with us in certain situations, but his grace is sufficient for us. And his love covers a multitude of sin. And when you feel that God has covered you and you know that he has uprooted and delivered you from all the dirt and the grime that was hidden underneath the cavities of your heart, in different pockets of your heart, when you know that God has healed you and he has cleansed you and he has set you free, you feel that peace covering you and that love of God. It makes all things beautiful again, and you feel uplifted and enlightened, and then your whole life is filled with the bright glory of God. I just wanted to encourage somebody today. No matter what you're dealing with down on the inside, allow God's love to cover you. And use wisdom when you're going into different trials and tribulations in your life. Make sure your ears are inclined unto God. And so that way he can guide your steps. Be careful for the black ice. Watch where you go. Watch for your step. Don't allow your feet to run to mischief. Make sure that you're planted in the shelters of the Almighty God. Make sure you're covered under his wings. Make sure that you're keeping your ear unto heaven, and make sure that you seek after peace. So that way you're not worried about what tomorrow might bring. A wise woman stores up for the winter, so she's not afraid of the snow. Her family is clothed already with all the necessary tools that you need to survive in the winter. I just want to encourage you guys that God is covering you no matter what you've been through in 2021, 2022. Use wisdom. Walk in peace. Stay on fire for God. Then when that snow comes, he's going to cover it and give you peace and everything that you need. Man, God is amazing. Take the signs of the weather and know that God is speaking in everything. Go with the season change. Know the season that you're in, and let's be obedient to guide you, to give you that security, to bring that enlightenment into your dark situations. No matter what kind of grime and dirt and filth and sin and shame, condemnation, let his blood wash you like the rain comes before the snow. Let's be obedient. Let's stay consistent and give God your yes. It is time for a yes, Lord, I will obey. It is time for consistency. If you haven't been consistent, this is the year to do it. 2022, it is your year. It is your year, despite all the things that might be underneath your peace. His grace is sufficient for you. So allow God to guide you. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up so it can push it into the algorithm. Leave me some comments down in the description box below. If you're here in the Seattle area and you're in the snow, what did God reveal to you today? What is he speaking down into your spirit? What are you being disobedient about? Where are you lacking consistency? Where are you lacking self-discipline? Something to think about. Stay tuned until next time. Bye. Hey guys, it's your girl Tarnisha Sherrill. I'm here with another video. Thank you for tuning in, all of you that be listening to what I have to say. Excuse me, but it's a snow day and I just got out the house. I felt prompted to make this video. As you can see, I'm out in the snow right now and it's just beautiful behind me. It's just an amazing view. But as I began to walk around out here in the snow, the Lord started to speak to me, and I did a similar video about this around the same time last year. Y'all, my lips is dry. But I did a video similar to this last year, and but God started to speak to me this year is we're all in a place of being drawn out, being separated, being consecrated for his glory. Because we're all going through a different level of purification, of sanctification, of holiness, because he's trying to get his righteous people to stand up. But as I began to just look around at the snow, he began to minister to me about how his love covers a multitude of sin. Some of us might think that we're too far gone, or we're at a place of no return. Like, okay, I know God has been calling me. I know God has been speaking to me, but I've been disobedient. But he is saying it's never too late. As long as you start being obedient now, everything that he promised you is going to come to pass. His word will not come back void, and God is going to get the glory. But it's up to you to make a decision. It's up to you to make the choice. Just like this snow covers all the dirt, all the grime, all the grit that's in the streets and that's on the sidewalks, even the dirt that's on the houses. When you begin to look down the road and how beautiful it is with the snow that's covering everything, it makes you think about the purity of God. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to purge us with hyssop. He wants to purge us and make us humble. Matter of fact, he wants you to humble yourself. So it's time of consecration, to push back your plate, to come before the Lord with humility, and he will cover us and purge us and cleanse us and make us white as snow. And no matter what's down at the bottom of all of that dirt and the grime and the filth and the yuck, he is faithful and just to forgive us and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. Even my lips, girl, this ashiness. But he is faithful and just to cleanse us of all unrighteousness. And he just wants you to remember that even though he's covering you, make sure that you tread lightly. and that you're careful, because even though the snow is beautiful, it's fluffy, it's light, it makes you feel like to get your nice cup of hot cocoa and sit by the fire and cuddle up. But it's also a preparation time. You know, in the snow, you have to store up, because sometimes it could get so bad out here that you can't even leave your house, and you have to be a wise steward of what you have. So this is even a season to become a wiser steward of the things that you have, because there's some things that could get dried up. There's nothing growing in the snow because it's covered. There's nothing growing in the snow because it's covered. So you need to make sure that the things that God is putting in your spirit is getting stored up. And then that sun will come out and start burning away everything that's not like him. He wants to get you into a place of humility so he can start burning up everything that's not like him, so you can be used for his glory. You know, the snow is such a beautiful thing, but it also can be dangerous, because you have to look out for black ice. Black ice can kill somebody if they can't get on their brakes quick enough, or if you're walking out of a store and you slip on black ice. It could be a danger to some of us if we're not careful, if we're not alert to everything that's going on in the spirit, everything that's going on in the natural. The snow is such a prophetic sign of how God does things. He makes everything beautiful. He makes all things new. But there's also danger in that if you're not mindful of what you're doing in the winter season. This is preparing you for the summer. It's preparing you for the harvest. This is the time where we should be laboring in prayer, in fasting, in reading the word, stirring up while we're in this cozy place. You might have to really monitor your intake of food so that you don't run out, because there ain't no going back and forth to the store, because it could be a hazardous. You are safer if you're left in the house. Kids can enjoy themselves and play in the snow, but you also want to be careful, because you don't know what might be in there. There might be some dog poop at the bottom of that. You don't want to step in those. You want to make sure that you tread lightly and that you're focused. So hopefully I encourage somebody, and you got what I was trying to say. So basically the Lord is just saying this is a time where he's covering your sins. You're covered. He's got you covered. But make sure you're alert and you're using this time wisely. You're seeking his face. Any time that's going by, you can't get time back. So make sure you use it wisely. This is the word to me, and I figured that somebody else could use it too. Even though this is a time of preparation, it's a time of consecration, it's also a time for me to be vigilant and to focus and to be aware of my surroundings, because anything could happen. You could also get frostbite. It could get a little too cold. See how my lips ain't acting right? Stay hydrated. You need your living water, because in the snow you can also get dehydrated and freeze. That's a hazard there too. So you want to make sure that you're listening to what God is saying in all things, because you can hear him. Stop saying you can't hear him, because I was one of them ones. I can't hear you, God. He's speaking in everything. He's all around. He's in the snow. He's in the rain. He's in the summer. He's in the fall. God is doing a new thing. He'll make all things new. He'll cleanse you. He'll purge you. He'll clothe you with hyssop. He'll restore the lost. He'll restore the broken. He'll restore your finances. He'll restore your marriage. He'll restore your mind. But will you allow him to cover you? Will you seek him first? Will you seek him early? Will you push back your plate? Will you sacrifice those things that you want to do? Would you put yourself in danger? Because you moved too quickly. You moved before you got the word. You got the word, but wasn't stewarding it well on what he told you to do with it. Will you allow yourself to get frostbite because you're not using wisdom? Will you allow yourself to fall on black ice because you weren't vigilant, because you weren't aware of your surroundings? Will you allow yourself to be placed in the middle of danger when there's cars speeding on the ice? We must be aware in this season, you guys. That's a warning. God is speaking, and it's very clear. It's a preparation season. That might look different for all of us, but it's still some sort of preparation. Some of us, God might be cutting out the pride and putting in the humility. Some of us, God might be pulling out the arrogance and giving us a servant's heart, or removing the self-entitlement and giving us a heart to serve. He might be pouring into some of us more love when we're more selfish. He might be calling some of us into a place of silence because we talk too much. He might be calling some of us in a place of giving. He might be telling some of us to stop giving so much because it wasn't led of him. And so people are taking your blessings and squandering them off. Other of us thinks that we may be missing out on what's going on because everybody's moving, everybody's creating, everybody's doing, and he might have you not doing anything but at his feet. But we are all right where we need to be as long as we're listening to what he told us to do. It's the obedience. It's better than the sacrifice. I'd rather obey than slip on some black ice. That was a word right there. But I love you guys so much. It's cold. I don't like being out in the snow. I need to be in the warmth. So I'm going to go back up in here and continue to spend my time with the Lord throughout the day. And I hope you guys found this message well, even though your girl came over here looking crazy. I love y'all. God bless. Bye.